What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mike Robinson, and this is Let's Take a Walk. I hope everybody had a great week. I definitely did, but as usual, it was a blur. I went to sleep on Monday. Man, I woke up. It was Friday. Listen, I don't remember the dash in between.
There you
But
go.
that's a whole nother thing. But as usual, the El Talk platform brings you the best guests. And
Oh man.
tonight, no deviation from that at all. Tonight, it's always a treat, man, to have a brother, somebody who has seen some of the things that I've seen and is from the same places. It's always a treat. So I got my man Brocky Mcknight. Well, Brocky Mcknight on and his lovely wife, Miss Trina Marie. If you don't, I mean, they might look familiar to you. They are the co-hosts of Where's Brunch podcast, and even more so, you got my man Brocky on the Whiskey and Kicks podcast. You might recognize him from there. They are a power couple to say the least. I mean, you name it, they do it. But I'm not going to steal their thunder. I'm just going to give them a moment right now to kind of reintroduce themselves and just give a little background to who they are and some of the things that they have going on. So, with that being said, man, you got this.
Well, I'm like you said, I'm Brocky. Mike and I went to college. Went to high school together. Went to school together. We grew up together in Rochester, New York. And like you said, co-host of the Where's Brunch podcast, all around content creator / producer, I guess. Yeah, I'm just all into the art of creating, just creating art. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. It's like what you're doing right now, Mike. So I didn't notice though that I wasn't in the commercial, but it's cool. We can talk about that. We can talk about that all carry. This is like my third time on the show. I wasn't on there. I just noticed that. You know what I'm saying? We go way back. You know what I'm saying? I remember. You know what I'm saying? I remember the day. So yeah, that's me, man, in a nutshell. This is my beautiful wife, Trina Marie.
Hello, I'm Trina Marie. Well, I'm from Long Island, New York, Amityville to be exact. I've been living in this area, the DMV, for a bajillion years now. Okay. I am a content creator as well as co-host of the show. I'm a sommelier by trade. And wine aficionado, and soon to be my first wine retreat in Tuscany, Italy, coming up in 2025. So
yes,
that is it.
Nice. Listen, I am so excited about this interview right now.
You ready for the hard question, bro?
Yeah, I can't even talk. Where does this begin? Where does the Brocky and Trina story begin?
You want me to tell that? You want me to start this on?
You can start it. So, I'll jump in when I think that you missed up.
So of course, like you said, I'm Whiskey and Kicks guy, right? So I have a brand. It's more kicks than whiskey these days. I don't partake in the whiskey as much as I used to, bro. I just don't agree with my body like that. Gotcha. But back then, I was moving around a lot around the DMV, interviewing bartenders, people in distillers, people in the industry. We talked about booze and shoes, whiskey and kicks, right? So it was a gentleman that I knew who is in the spirits industry, and we follow each other on Facebook. And one day, here he is. He advertised that he was going to be on this show called Wine with Friends, which was Trina's show. We didn't know each other, of course. I'm like, who is this? I need to know. And so I reached out. And
you did.
Just because I was like, well, you're doing something similar to what I'm doing.
Yep.
Interviewing people and stuff like that. Different, but similar, right?
Right.
And I said, it'd be dope if we collaborate. And of course, it was to collaborate genuinely. But I thought she was, a beautiful person, of course, and I wanted to talk to her. And then from there, it just took off. I mean, I could sit here, we can tell a long story and whatnot, but
yeah, we were supposed to meet for a business meeting to discuss the show.
Yes.
And coming on the show.
Yes.
And he called me and said, well, hey, I'm having another business meeting in another spot. Instead of me coming over there, can you come over here and meet me? at this place. So I was just like,
because they're about to start cooking.
This was still during the pandemic. So, you know, we were still kind of coming out of isolation a little bit. And so I was like, okay, well, I was supposed to cook him something and we were just gonna sit and talk. So then I just stopped everything. I was gonna make you grouper that day too.
Yeah.
So I put
Grouper. Oh my God.
in the, you know, put that away and got in my car, drove over there, and that meeting turned into a date that lasted 6 courses.
Yeah.
And hours of us kind of, you know, talking, getting to know each other and all of that. And
it was you and I, it was like three other people.
Photographers.
Yeah, all photographers.
All photographers.
And we were the only ones in the restaurant.
Yeah.
And the chef was bored. He wanted to cook. And we were like, okay. And I was like, yo, you might want to get over here. Like, yo, this is about to be a thing. You're going to get over here.
Yeah.
Over, you know what I'm saying? For this business meeting, as she claims.
Business. It was. I remember telling my mother, like, okay, I'm going to meet this guy. I'm just letting you know where I'm going. And she's like, yeah.
She didn't know I took a shower that day and put on some cologne.
Oh, no.
When I saw him, I was walking, like I parked my car and I'm walking around. And I think I told you I was here and I was walking up and I saw him and I was like, wait, he's kind of cute. And then when he met me in the front, he gave me a hug and I was like, dang, he smelled good too. So I'm like texting on the side to my mom, like, oh my goodness. And she was like, I knew it. I knew it wasn't going to be no business meeting. I knew this was a date.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome, you guys. So
2020.
So there was no apprehension on either part, is what you're saying to me.
Well, I don't, you know, maybe she might have been caught off guard, but I was in a space in my life where I wanted something a little bit, you know, something substantial. Like I had been single for a long time. You know what I mean? So when I met her that night, I was like, oh, this is something. Like you're so used to being in touch with the empty things or something that's, you know, is nothing from the jump. When something shows up, you're like, oh, this is a real thing. So I made my intentions clear that night. Like when I walked into her car, I kissed her on the cheek. I think I told you I like you.
You said I really like you.
Maybe I'm not sure if that was before or after the kiss. I don't know.
I think you kissed me on the cheek first, and then you said it, and I was like,
and it was kind of like, yo, I like this. Here's a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. And then you know, I don't know what the timeline, because the further we get along, the timeline gets messed up. But I was like, listen, go into your little iPhone, let your little boyfriends know. I'm gonna go into my phone. I'm gonna let you know what I'm saying? And I was serious. And because I wanted to get to know her, and I didn't want to. I wanted to be pure. I didn't want it to be like somebody's at my crib. I'm lying about somebody being there. All that sneaky stuff. I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to be completely clear. And if it didn't work out, it was because of something. It was just because of us. Yeah. But I wanted to give it, you know what I'm saying, that chance. And that's what we did.
And I was basically just not looking. When I met, I was like, I'm done. I'm done with this little DC DMV dating string. There was a bunch of bad first dates, and I was like, I'm good. I'm just gonna show. I'm fine. That's it.
No, that's amazing.
God had other plans.
Yeah. Right. I mean, Brocky, you know, as long as I've known him, even in childhood, you know, he's always been kind of a cool dude, and not in the sense of cool, you know, I'm cool, I'm dope, whatever, but just like very even, very like never too high, never too low. Like, and I always kind of admired that about him. Not to mention the fact that I don't think I've ever seen him wear the same thing twice. Have you?
Talk about it. Talk about it. Still happens right now. Talk about it.
It's crazy. Is there a trash can in the back on fire right now waiting for your outfit after this interview.
I'm no Dame Dash,
It's
baby.
hot. It's hot.
I wear my t-shirts over.
Warming
I'm
up.
not. You know what I'm saying? It's all about combinations.
I see. Moving forward, kind of fast forwarding. How long have you guys been married?
We said it. It's a year and a half.
Yep.
On April 6th, it was 6 months. So it'll be 2 years this October.
Congratulations. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you go from being girlfriend and boyfriend and that whole thing, and then you make this tremendous commitment to one another and become husband and wife.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add on this whole media thing. This is an individual question. What since you've entered into this as a unit, like the Where's Brunch podcast, like what has been the most profound thing you've learned about each other since becoming, co-content creators?
So I'll go first. When we first were doing this on Instagram Live, it was called something else. It was called Sensory Sunday.
Okay.
And we would do it on Sunday evenings around 7 p.m. and have a DJ come in first, and then we would have guests and stuff. And everyone used to say, "Oh, you guys should do a podcast." And what I learned about him is his vision. Like he has this. He goes in the lab. He goes in this other room, and he might be quiet or he'll working or whatever. And he has this vision that he comes up with, and it just rolls. He just adds onto it. He just adds on it. He has more. He has this whole idea, and he's thought it out. He's looked left. He's looked right. He's looked at best case scenario, worst case scenario. He's worked it all out already before he even presents it to me. And he has this vision, and I'm like, okay. That sounds good. All right. Any questions that I have, he answers them or whatever. And yeah, I learned that he has this vision, and this vision that he's had for the Where's Brunch podcast and different things. The hard work that he puts in behind the scenes and the dedication, we see the results of it. We're starting to see the results of it on the other side from his vision.
Okay. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
For me, I think I learned that we're more similar than not when it comes to the creative space, because we just had a discussion last night. I'm unorthodox. She is as well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So she doesn't move the way a lot of the wine industry does. She finds her own path, and I'm the king of finding my own path. Like I've always been like that. So yeah, we had that in common when it comes to creating content and stuff like that. She's not the same as everybody else, and that's a great thing. I love that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So you decide to go into this thing together, and like I was telling you, kind of like offline, you guys, you really organically bounce off one another, and that's really
appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's not an easy thing to do. Is it a challenge for you guys to cut the Where's the Brunch off and become a couple again, because you are wearing essentially different hats and you're doing different things? So is there such thing as changing modes? Like,
yeah, we got the save it for the pod moments. Yeah. Like there's certain conversations that we might start having. It'd be like, save for the pod, save for the pod, save for the pod, save. So yeah, that happens sometimes. But most of the time, we know what our conversations are, and then we know what we're going, or we have like the list or whatever that we want to hit, and we might delve a little bit surface level together at home before we take it to the screen, before we get on camera.
And largely, our platform is us presenting ourselves.
Yeah,
like we're not on there. We started delving a little bit into like creating narratives, and meaning like just taking viewpoints on things for the sake of discourse. Right?
Did I say Jay-Z was overrated?
She said Jay-Z was overrated on the show, and I flipped my top, right? It's like, what are you talking about? But we hadn't discussed that ahead of time. So when she did it, it was like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not even, it's crazy. So,
right.
So yeah, you know, but largely we're just like presenting ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But we recognize that it has to be a mixture, you know what I'm saying? Because you start repeating stories about yourself, like, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, we have to take topics and then just have discourse and whatnot, play devil's advocate, things of that nature and whatnot. So, so yeah, you know, a lot of what you see on camera is kind of like how we are at home. Like, this is how we are, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Conversation starts. I cut out a lot before, you know, the stuff y'all see, like, we be having conversations ahead of time. It'd be crazy, you know what I'm saying? All that get cut out before I start the actual episode. So, you know, it just rolls into it.
Do you listen to your own music? And what I mean by that is, do you watch do you watch it? Not for the sense of editing or correction, but just for the sake of watching.
You do?
What? I do. I listen. I listen to us in the car. Usually, whenever I'm driving, I will put on the pod to listen. And I like to give him feedback about, the sound. I'm also listening to myself to hear what I said and to think about, okay, where was my mind when I said X, Y, Z? I like to do that. I like to just listen and just hear and
Yeah, for me, I'm sorry, you was gonna say something, Mike?
I was just thinking about the commercial. You watch the commercial where they have the argument and then somebody pulls the red flag and then they watch the play.
Yes.
I don't know. That crossed my mind.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Right. Is that something that you guys do? Like, you did say that. No, I didn't say that. Footage.
I don't know. We really had those moments.
Okay.
Nah, but nah. We don't really have those moments like that. We're pretty thorough with it. And for me, as far as viewing it and stuff like that, like, I do the editing, like you said, in the way that I edit. I watch the entire episode. Like, it's not like I'm not jumping around a lot. It's like it flows pretty well. And there's pieces that I have to edit. So I listen and watch the entire episode and whatnot during that process. So,
Rocky, how hard is it for you to go from producer to co-host and back and forth?
Bro, I can't turn it off. Like, I can't turn the producer off because even when I'm sitting there, we have 3 cameras, lighting, sound, all these things. I don't even understand a dog. I don't even understand. Like, I'm just thinking about it right now with this question. Like, I really don't understand how I do that. Like, it's kind of crazy.
You're just on.
Because I know, though, it's like little tricks. Like I said, 3 cameras, right? So if I'm checking something, I know that this is a point in the video that I'm going to cut to her because I'm checking stuff out. I'm doing different things during the conversation and then still paying attention to the conversation and stuff like that. So it's crazy, bro. Like, I can't even turn it off. Like, when I go on my friend's podcast, when I go on Tuna Fork and stuff like that, I'm like, yo, bro, your lighting temperature is different on your lights. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm watching the cameras while we shooting. Like, it's hard for me to turn it off, man, because it's just, I enjoy it. I really do.
How has this, what impact has this made on you guys personally? Not, aside from each other, but just in your regular life. Like for me, I found that since I've started doing this, I've become better at holding conversation. Like, I can start a conversation and I can maintain it better than I feel like I ever have. Yeah. You know, so like, is there anything that you realized about yourself, in the process of doing all this that you apply in your personal lives?
I realize that I am an analyst through and through, and I will deep dive something and have random facts of information just swirling in my head about things, and especially if it's something, if it's something good, juicy, or any Black woman delegation related stuff that I need to investigate beforehand to present my position. I know I gotta go because he's gonna come and
Okay.
Learn about myself, man. I've been doing this stuff for so long, man. Like 2017 is when I started, and then as far as where's brunch, I don't know.
You don't think you're a producer now?
Oh well, yeah, I guess
that you're a producer.
I learned, yeah.
And now people are approaching you to produce their podcast.
Thank you for helping with that. She's right.
He's a producer.
I mean, I do trust more in my eye, and just the idea. I trust in like the ideas, bro. Like and like you said, the visions and stuff. Like I trust them way more now than I did before. Like when I was first, how it was when you first started this out. Like you and I talked when you first started this out. Yeah, right. I was a whole different person back then compared to what you are now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I couldn't even speak to my brand when I first started it out. You know what I'm saying? I was like shy talking to people about what I was doing. And now you just rolled, you know what I'm saying? It just rolled off and whatnot.
Absolutely.
And also, you know what? Here it is. Here's my answer. It just came to me. I recognize that I do this for the fulfillment, right? I do it because it makes me happy to do it. I don't care about a lot of times. I don't care about how people receive the art. I care about doing it and presenting it to the world and moving on to the next thing.
Fact.
I will do my due diligence. You know what I'm saying? With we want people to see it. We want people to see and watch and listen. So I do my due diligence there. But I just don't let that world take too much of my energy and time.
I'm the one looking at the metrics and the best time to post and how many people looked at it, and that stuff.
Yeah. We differ in that regard.
Yeah.
See pain.
So Chris, what up, son? Go ahead. Okay.
Did you join?
So we were kind of talking offline about a few different things. We were talking about submission and that whole thing. What role does that play in what you guys have been able to accomplish up to this point?
The actual submission topic?
Yeah, I mean, just the act of being vulnerable to one another in this way, on this platform. You know what I'm saying? Has that played a part? Have you felt like at certain points you feel like you took a back seat so that she can come forth and back in? You know what I'm saying? Because you guys kind of do volley off of one another. It's kind of like a perfect volleyball game. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So that piece, like for me, that I can recognize when she wants to go somewhere and when she doesn't want to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And try to make that seamless. We all, like the way we live our relationship, we give each other platform and space to express and talk and communicate. You know what I'm saying?
We over communicate.
Yeah, at any given time. So we've always been like that. Like we haven't had any struggles in that regard.
We haven't.
And that just goes right into the pod. We don't dive super deep into personal stuff. Right. Believe it or not, most of the stuff is like opinion based on certain stuff, whatever. Right. But like family and even we might touch on past relationships in a funny way.
Yes.
Reference them. But the details and stuff like that, we don't we don't really get into a lot of personal details.
There's been so much going on my side personally that I absolutely refuse to bring up because it's not the platform for it.
Right.
I think I definitely, you push me and you encourage me to speak up and have my voice,
Right.
To have my voice, to use it to, say what I'm feeling, say what I think, say what where am I?
Mm-hmm.
How do I feel about this? Or I said, whatever topic that we're going to. And if I feel strongly about something, and we'll agree to disagree. If that happens, we just disagree. If we don't agree on a topic, we're not always going to agree on something.
Like the whole blaspheming thing she did with Jay-Z. Like, how do you
listen? We got phone calls about that. I was on speaker phone calls for days.
She was doing it all the time too. Like with the relationship stuff, she was like, when these chicks be out here doing foul stuff, she be backing them up and stuff like that.
What are you talking about?
And then my friends be calling the house on like Monday, Tuesday, like, yo, is Trina around? Yeah, she right here. Let me put you on speaker. Go ahead.
Listen,
wow.
I'm strong as the president of the Black women delegation.
Yeah,
I'm a ride for my sisters, and it is. I said what I said. Yeah.
We have seen, like, especially lately with like Diddy and some of the things he's dealing with at this present moment, being in the public eye for so long, and being able to have access to so many different things and so many different people, and being able to accomplish what he's accomplished, and then to be at the point where he's at right now, where we don't really know what's gonna happen. What you guys are doing is, I understand that that's kind of far removed from what he's doing, but in a sense, with you guys, it's this platform is bringing you into circles. You know what I'm saying? Different circles, and you're meeting all types of different people who have all types of different viewpoints and ways of doing things. How are you able to navigate through that part?
So one, we stay home. Right, we are home is our thing. Like, we be home, we do a lot of stuff. We get out, we travel.
It look like we out every day,
but it looks like so. A lot of this is about perception, but we enjoy being around each other, and this thing that we have, I think we agree that protecting it and maintaining it is the most important thing, because we plan on living our lives together. You know what I'm saying? For the rest of our lives. You know what I mean? So just to jump into like that Diddy world, right? The Diddy reference, that world. We were just talking about this last night when we were at the bar. And I've said it many times. I had no desire, bro, to be in Hollywood, any type of entertainment industry on that level. I had no desire. A deal, okay, if a deal came along, and we were able to do it, like, what's my man name? Joe Rogan does it. You know what I'm saying? I think he lives in like Canada or something, or somewhere obscure. He's not in that Hollywood stuff. It's not for me, and I'm not willing to risk what we have for money. It's never going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So
you're not going to be on the Real Housewives of Potomac or
making up narratives about our relationship, all these other things, lying and stuff like that. Like, I have no desire to be in that, man. And so on a lower level, I guess how we are very small local celebrity type. We're not celebrities in any regard. Even with Whiskey and Kicks, I was more of a celebrity than I am now.
I'm sorry, he was the mayor. Okay, when I would go places with him.
I see her making these faces over here.
When I would go spaces and places with him, like, oh my gosh, Rocky, oh, this guy.
I had relationships.
We didn't pay. We were drinking.
Yeah.
Come
And-
over here. Come over here. Come over here. All that.
Right. And see, that's the thing, bro. It's funny because you're not trying to be in certain circles. However, sometimes in the flow of it, you look up and you're someplace that you didn't really set out to be in a certain space. You know what I mean? Is that something that you guys discuss? Like, you know, you might find, like I said, you might find yourself in a place that, like I said, you weren't prepared, or you didn't set out to be, not in a negative sense, but just in the flow of what you're doing.
I mean, Tuscany just happened.
Tuscany just happened.
Like, yeah, you can go ahead.
I mean, I understand because we do have the what is it?
Notoriety.
We show up. We show up in different spaces. Our videos might reach someone somewhere or what have you. We both have individual platforms that we share stuff, and we share information of our own, things that we're doing. So for me in the wine space, I never imagined that I would be in a space to host a retreat and to do it all online and to sell out the retreat. Right. Right. Really, really fast with a bunch of strangers who I don't know, because they just they followed me. They like my content. They want to go and have this experience in another country for 7 days. So,
and that popped up out of nowhere.
It popped up out of nowhere. I mean, I was contacted. I investigated to make sure they were legit and they were, not a scam or something. And, I mean, we're older. We're almost 50. When I was in my 20s, I ran the streets. I was in the clubs. I was, whatever, wild stuff. At this point now, I know what's important. I know how I want my life to be. I know I have 2 daughters in their 20s who are watching me. And so it's very important, that I'm stable and it's all good and we have a blast and we do what we do. And then we're back home on the couch like, woo. What time is it?
What we gonna watch?
What we gonna watch? What wine you want me to pull out?
Yep.
I definitely feel you on that, because I was in Florida recently, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna tell you, I marked it on my calendar because I was going without my family. It was a trip. A friend of mine was doing a documentary, and they asked me to come be on the documentary, so I went. Oh, wow. And I was so excited, not because I was going to Florida, not because of the documentary. All I could think about, I literally visioning this, sleeping in the hotel bed. That's all I can think of. Like, there was a time where I would take a trip like that and I would hit the ground running. I would drop my bags off and I would be
out the door, yo.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't wait to get to that hotel room.
Listen, man, things have changed, man. You know what I'm saying? Our interests, the priorities all changed. I remember coming home to visit Rochester, like after I had left for the military, so I would come home, bro, and I'm in the house and right back out in the streets, immediately.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, I couldn't wait. Now it's different.
Yes, you get excited for rest.
Yeah, I'm like, what the bank account look like? Hey, I'm excited about that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What trips we looking at? We don't plan out a whole.
Oh my goodness.
Almost 2 years.
2 years.
You know what I'm saying? We sat down and planned out our lives, what we're gonna be doing per month, graduations, trips, so on and so forth, whatever. Like,
birthdays,
looking forward to things.
milestone birthdays, all that kind of stuff.
That is amazing.
People looking at us like we crazy. Like, wait. Did you say 2025?
Yeah.
2026?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like, we have a plan.
That is amazing. And one thing I observed about you guys, whether you're talking about spirits or you're talking about shoes, you're talking about music, you guys are truly students of the culture.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And that is dope, because anybody can get on here and talk about Jay-Z, Nas, NBA YoungBoy, You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
No disrespect to them, but anybody can talk about them because they're right here in the room. You guys talk about Wu-Tang, and you talk about Ghostface, and you talk about Mos Def, and you talk about, you know,
all of them.
Daylight.
Doom. MF Doom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who has an MF Doom t-shirt? Who does that? You know what I mean? And
nice too.
Yeah.
And that's something that I truly admire about you guys too. Like, you are truly students, again, like I said, of the culture.
Bro,
has it always been that, or
there's not a song she doesn't know? Like, she knows every song that comes. And I remember one of the times, it was here.
Was it here?
Yeah. And I think she was like taking a shower. I'm like, she playing my beat? I was like, I'm exactly where I belong, bro. This is the person I should be with right here. Playing my beat.
Remember when we drove back? Where did we drive back from? Rochester? What were we listening to?
Was it my playlist?
Was it, who was it? No, what artist was it? We were singing all the songs. We were listening to Wyclef Jean.
Oh yeah. We did throw Wyclef on.
Carnival. We were listening to that the whole
We was going
way.
crazy.
We were going crazy the whole drive. We were just like, what? Turn that up.
Look, man, we've been like in sync with each other before we knew each other.
Oh,
we tell the story.
Oh, yeah.
We've referenced, for instance, there was a club, right, called Republic Gardens
here in DC.
I lived in there. She lived in there too. We didn't know each other, and she was like, she's telling me a story about how she had a birthday party in there one time, and I was like, "Word?" She's like, "Yeah." Jawan Howard, remember Jawan Howard?
Used to play for the
Jawan Howard was having his birthday party in the back, and I was like,
mine was in the front.
I was like, yeah, I think I was there. And she was like, yeah, I said, I'll call my boy Joe up because Joe remember everything.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, we was right. Because we used to come in and post up on the corner of the bar with a bucket with champagne bottles in them. Like, if we didn't have we didn't do sections in Republic Gardens.
You just find
sections wasn't even popping yet.
Yeah,
right?
You just find your area.
Find a spot.
Yeah.
She was right next to us partying. I remember her birthday party.
Yeah, I had on these
I was there.
Top, and we would go because I knew Juwan because he was dating one of my friends, and they were back there partying, and they come up here, and we go back there, and
we lived in the same neighborhood.
We lived
for a period of time. Like, and this is like a very smart, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, it's like all these different things. We were around each other around the same time and whatnot, but it wasn't time for us to meet yet.
Yes,
that was supposed to happen later. So we've been in sync. You know what I'm saying? Is what I'm getting to, and it shows up now. Like the music, the movies, the references. Like it's all, you know. The one thing that contrasts, and we're gonna talk about this on the podcast tomorrow. Our sense of humor, the things that she finds funny compared to the things I find funny, completely different, bro.
I feel you on that.
I'm a bit geeky, and the stuff that I find funny, he's like,
and vice versa.
And then I don't get any of the Seinfeld stuff.
Yeah, I like dry humor.
Get out of my head, because I was thinking, I was like, me myself, I'm more of a Seinfeld humor. Like I get the subliminal stuff, and it's hilarious.
Yes.
Now, mind you, before we got on here, we've sitting here watching old episodes of Martin.
Yeah,
right.
Cracking up.
Hilarious.
Absolutely cracking up.
And even now, you still see things that you didn't see back then.
Yep.
Like, I don't remember seeing that before.
We didn't remember that Cole was trying to holler at Pam first before Tommy. Yep. I didn't remember that.
Yep.
I totally didn't remember that.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Like my wife and I, we even use lines from Martin and stuff to convey certain things or whatever. Like sometimes I might, for instance, I might cook for her and I'll give it to her, and she'll do the thing where Miss Jerry. Remember when they were in the bus station and Miss Jerry took his sandwich and stepped on it? And was
I remember that, yo. Hilarious.
Yes. So yes, I feel you. So I mean, This question is for Miss Trina.
Yes.
You're in the wine industry.
Yes.
And by your own admission, you are a connoisseur of such.
Mm-hmm.
Is it apparent to you that what you're doing is, and how do I say it? You introduce, especially for us as people of color,
Mm-hmm.
You are in an industry that
doesn't look like us.
Yeah, but it gives us. I'm trying to find the right words. It's like you give us culture. Like you are maintaining our culture, giving us a culture. Okay, we're not just gangbangers. We're not just drug dealers. We're not just surface people. We do things. We talk about wine. We talk about food, fine food. We talk about going to different countries, and we do it, and we experience safaris and the sphinxes and all these things, right? Like, are you conscious of that when you go about doing your daily business when it comes to the wine country? Like, are you conscious of the impact that you have on the the culture?
Recently, yes, I am now, and I understand. Back in 2021, I received a scholarship from an organization called the Roots Fund, and they paid for my certification for a wine course. And I understood in meeting with in joining this organization, their mission is to bring brown and indigenous people of color into the wine spaces that they normally would not gain access to because of the old code and how Napa looks and how France looks. It doesn't look like us. And so I understood in joining the organization, accepting the scholarship, that I had a duty to not only share what I'm learning about wine, but also to make it approachable for people of color, so that we don't feel intimidated about, a Syrah. So we don't feel intimidated about a Cab Sav. And so we understand that you can have a Malbec, but there's a French Malbec and there's a Malbec from Argentina, to speak to that stuff and talk about pairing, and even pairing ethnic foods, Black Southern food, Caribbean food with wines, and being comfortable to know, your lane and where to go. I feel like it's a huge responsibility that I have to share. I do it in an unconventional way, so it ruffles feathers and it bothers folks, but we always get tested. I always get tested. I work in a wine shop just on Tuesdays, but what brings me the most joy is when an older Black man, a woman, or a couple come in and they see me in the store and they come to me and they light up, because it's they know, not, they're surprised, like, oh, when did you start working here? And I can speak to the wines and I can make recommendations for them, and I can ask them, well, what country and what are you eating? What's your price point? And I understand the responsibility, and it makes me very happy when someone shares, something that I've posted about wine, or when they reach out to me and ask me for recommendations. Although I've stopped on the recommendations because people used to be messaging me all the time. And I'm like, people pay me for this, so I can't just be giving you a whole wine list for free. So, it's a huge responsibility. I don't take it lightly. And I understand that the more I study and the more I share, the better we all are with the information that I provide to people.
Rocky, the same question goes to you as far as whiskey and kicks are concerned. Now, I will tell you personally, we're from the same place. I love sneakers. To this day, I'm still a sneaker person. But you take it a step further. You know what I'm saying? Like, there you can look at a shoe and understand the history of it, where it comes from, the colorways. Why is this certain design? Who collaborated with whom to make said shoe? The comfort level of the shoe. You made me personally like rethink, how I look at, that whole thing.
Mhm.
Now it's more about understanding the shoe, understanding the history of it,
Mhm.
and the culture of it. Do is that something that you think about when you're doing that? Like, what is the actual, when you're reviewing a shoe, when you guys are talking about a shoe, what is your goal? Like, what are you trying to convey to me when you?
Um, just just I want to open you up to thinking outside the box, right? So in sneaker culture, there's a term sneakerhead, right? You heard this
Right.
term, right? And for some sneaker folks, it's a dirty word, but I don't care about that stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
this is a word. But a lot of people who claim they're sneakerheads, and the idea of a sneakerhead is a person who is a sneaker enthusiast. They collect sneakers, they buy sneakers and wear them, whatever. Some of them don't wear them. Some people are just Nike heads. Some people are just Jordan heads.
Right.
Not really sneaker heads like that.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So don't, and if you got 100 pairs of ones, cool. That's great. You know what I mean? But there's other stuff out here.
Right.
There's other joints. So just seeing a style, stepping out, trying new things. You see white folks wearing Hokas and on clouds. I went and bought me some on clouds. There was a collab. It was a collab on cloud, but I bought them. You know what I'm saying? I got them. And it's like, yo, try some new stuff, do some different things, and just don't stick with one thing and chew my ear off about being a sneakerhead when all you got is a bunch of Jordans.
Right. And you know what? It's funny that you mentioned that, because kids at my church, sometimes they challenge me about, sneakers. And I'm like, listen, if all you have is Jordans, then you already lost.
You out.
You already, you know what I'm saying? If all you got is Air Force Ones, then you already lost. Because I
lost already. You know what I'm saying? It's not a competition. And it's not about how many you get. It's for me. Because we lived in a these gentrified spaces, basically. Small apartment with a lot of access to things. We had a lot of things around in our neighborhood. This is not a big place. I don't have space for a whole lot of sneakers. So if I don't wear them, they're gonna end up getting donated. I don't keep that many. It grew a little bit. It grew a little bit, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot of sneakers, bro. I just don't compare to a lot of dudes.
Right.
But my collection is very diverse.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Very diverse. You might see me with some New Balances on. You might see me with a pair of Sauconys on. You might see me with some Adidas. You might see me with some Nikes. And it's not gonna be the regular everyday Nikes that you see everybody with. It's other stuff. So yeah. And just on the sneaker thing, just a note, my biggest criteria for a sneaker at almost the age of 50 is the crossroad between style and comfort.
Yeah.
Style and comfort, bro. Like, listen, it's only a couple joints. Like, I bought some foam posits. They're not that comfortable, but they stylish. It's a couple joints that I'll get just for the style, but mostly comfort, man. Comfort and style.
Right. I'm the same way. It's certain stuff that I just never had before that I just really want. Like, for instance, the Jordan 3s, the UNCs.
Okay.
For some reason, I never had them, but I want them really, really bad. And it's not like they're obscure. It's not like I can't find them. It's just
if you want to get them, get them joints. Jordan 3. I mean, the black Jordan 3 cement joints is the greatest sneaker, the best sneaker ever created, in my opinion. The black cement Jordan 3 is the dopest sneaker ever created.
Wow.
It was just like it sent shockwaves. The whole cement thing, because it had a couple things that worked to his benefit. One, the twos were trash. We didn't like the twos when they came out.
Right.
We didn't like those. The twos just made a resurgence in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, so then when the 3 came out, it was like it hit hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just fell in love with that sneaker. It's my personal opinion. Other people might disagree. They might be wrong about that.
My favorite Jordan is the 12, the red and white 12s.
See, bro, you're really expansive in your Jordan love because a lot of those older heads, we stopped at the number 7.
Yo, listen, I love the I actually love the 14s too.
Word. I don't even know what those look like.
They had they were white with the Carolina blue. I can't even describe them, man. They're weird, but I was in Germany. I had to have them.
I ain't mad.
But yeah, I mean, but again, just watching how I'm not sure I can't remember the guy's name that you.
Oh, boy, Joe.
Yeah, Joe. You guys really go deep, and it really makes me when I do go out, shopping or whatever. It makes me expand my. I think about you guys. You know what I mean?
Appreciate that, yo. I'll give a lot of credit to Joe when it comes to the knowing a lot of the history of sneakers. Like I don't care to obtain or retain a lot of that information. Like so you see people in conversation. They're like, oh yeah, well the New Balance such and such. Oh yeah, that came out in 2002. No, I would have to Google that. I don't remember when they came out. Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but Joe is really good with those little details. He's like my wife. They share this memory thing. Their memory ridiculous. Yeah. Those two, direction, all those things. So when it comes to sneakers, he's like that and whatnot. But I definitely I can bring the heat though.
Yeah, exactly. I was in DC recently, man, and it blew my mind. Like everywhere you go, there's a sneaker store. Like we were in Pentagon City. It's like,
oh man,
nothing but
the store.
That's not even
it. That's
Like,
I wish I could have pointed. I wish we could have got up, but it wasn't. The time was messed up.
Yeah.
If I would have known you really want to look for some sneakers, I would have sent you to the right spot.
Yeah, we went to National Harbor.
Nice.
And I picked up I picked up some Pumas actually.
Okay.
Nice.
From there that I really dig them. I don't know what they're called, but I really dig.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway.
Sneakers, man.
Anyway,
a long time, bro.
I don't complain as long as he slides me a couple pair. I'm like, oh, thank you.
And you look like you got them little tiny feet too.
Yeah, I do. 5.5 for kids, 5, 6.5 for boys.
Go to Kids Foot Locker and all of that.
Yeah.
I'm upset with you right now. I don't mess with you right now, but I'll get over it.
I turned her into a sneakerhead.
Yeah.
And she turned me into a wine sipper.
Yeah.
And that's what's supposed to happen, man. Like the influence is there. That's really dope. Like I said, that's one of the first things I observed about the two of you. You guys really play off of one another, and it's very organic and it's very real. It's not contrived. It's not forced. I can tell that you guys didn't just get finished fighting before y'all came on.
Oh, yeah, nah.
No.
Oh man. So at this point in your process, what's the hardest thing for you not to do at this point?
That's a good. Are you speaking in relation to like our relationship or the show?
Or the show.
The whole gambit, like relationally, professionally. What's the hardest thing for you not to do?
That's a good question. Well, I guess for the past 6 months, the hardest thing for us not to do was travel. Because we decided to sit down and build up our nest a little bit.
Okay.
Save up a bunch of money and stuff like that. So that was very tough.
Oh my
I mean, I know your question might have been a little deeper than that, but I can't think.
But that was deep. Like we had a real discussion because I will buy some plane tickets and tell him about it after, and be like, we gotta figure out the date. We gotta figure we gonna go on this date here. So we had a really big discussion about what we wanted financially for ourselves, what we want our future to look like. We both have young adults in college, and we're paying for tuition for people to get up out of school. Right. So in just having those real conversations and being responsible adults, we understood that we needed to be more responsible and not just fly by the seat of our pants.
First year we just had fun.
We were just if you saw us, we were at the beach or we were drinking or whatever we were doing. We were not at home. So it was really important to just sit still for 6 months and just build up the savings. I'm not gonna say not spend because a whole lot of sneakers came up in this house in those 6 months. Happen.
Yep.
So
could have saved some more, but I didn't.
But we did. We were very, very responsible and got on budgets and sticking to budgets and things like that.
Yeah, those 6 months was good to build the habit. The habit as a couple. Because it's real easy, we have careers. We both have our own careers, our own money, our own, and so we're coming together at later ages, and we have to have those discussions. Got to be intentional.
You have to be intentional about what you want, what retirement is going to look like, because we're getting close to that. And, financial planning is one of the most important parts of being in a partnership, being married. You got to take care of the finances. It's got to be right. So sitting down for the last 6 months has been so eye-opening. And I just want to be on a beach somewhere, and I will soon.
Yeah, I saw a video yesterday, I think it was. This guy was saying that 70% of all businesses fail because of lack of spousal support.
Mm.
And
that could be I'm sure that's a thing.
He pushes me. He pushes me for my wine business to be more than even I want it to be. Like he's like, we need to hurry up and get this wine thing popping so I can quit my job. Like he's said that from day one. And I would always be like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't
because your ideas, her ideas with the wine, I'm like, these are great ideas. This is something that can be built upon. I don't have to be some star. You know what I'm saying? Like let's go with the hot hand. You know what I'm saying? And let's get these things popping, because I know the things that you want to accomplish.
Yeah.
I know you want to. We have a desire to live overseas. We're not just desire. We're planning to move out of the country. Yeah. You know what I mean? At some point. So it's like, let's get these certain things that are transferable. Really. Yep. You know what I'm saying? You can do them here, you can do them there. Because Whiskey and Kicks was just creating content. Like it wasn't really
quality content. Your content,
it was decent.
Done things that could easily be on a food and travel network.
Idea wise, yes, I agree. My whole format with Whiskey and Kicks, yes, I agree with that. But I saw just a lot in what she was doing. It's like, these ideas are crazy. Let's do it. And you got the talent, you got the looks, you got all these different elements and whatnot that goes into the whole thing. But it's not. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So just take advantage of this time and let's go, because look, like unmotivated people is like one of the biggest turnoffs. You know what I'm saying? So like, listen, let's do something.
Yeah.
Let's keep doing something. Unfortunately, I don't have to I really don't have to push her in that regard. I'll push you just like to motivate. You know what I'm saying? But she's on it, man.
No, I shared the plan with him. I was comfortable enough to share what my 5-year vision was, and he was like, all right, let's do it. What's up? Let's go.
That's a fact. And I believe that it's so important. That's so important. I mean, yes, she's a go-getter. However, you know, you being the motivator, you being the pusher, does more than just motivate her. It lets her know that you care. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mhm.
In a lot of relationships, it's just not that. Like one spouse is just watching the other spouse do it and waiting for it to pop off so they can benefit from it.
No, yeah,
Oh,
nah,
no.
yeah.
You know, being able to be teammates and encourage one another is super dope and it's super rare. And like I said, I see that in you guys, and that's it's crazy. It's
Appreciate
crazy.
it, man. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Um, what do you, Brocky? What did you get when you got Trina? What did you get?
You said what did I get? I'm sorry, say it again.
What did you get? What did you get when you got Miss Trina?
What did I get when I got her?
Yeah. What comes with her? Like, what did you?
Oh man. You know, like my partner. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like a life partner.
Mhm.
Like that's it. Like that's you know, I got warmth and companionship and all those things that people take for granted that I don't. You know what I mean? Like long term, long range type of deal. So yeah, I gained a lot. Like, you know, it's just stability, the grounding, and all those beautiful things, man, that like, you know, keep me spiritually connected and stuff like that. Like those things, having a partner and whatnot, you know, and Trina, it's those things, you know, those important things. Like I had those things. I have a good foundation to explore those types of things as well. You know what I'm saying? With being in this relationship. I got a business partner. I got, you know, I got a best friend. Like there hasn't been a moment since we've been together that I'm like, yo, I don't want to come over, or, you know, don't come over today, or, you know, we spend a lot of time together, Mike. We spend a lot of time together, yo. It's been since October 8th, 2020. It's a very few days that we haven't really been hanging out, except, you know, I went to Rochester
went home for the week
to visit my family for a week.
That was it.
And I worked from home, but we spent a lot of time, and I never get tired of it.
And I traveled to California.
Yeah, you went to Lodi
wine.
So yeah, like that's one of the biggest things. Like the friendship is crazy. You know what I mean? So yeah. Yep.
Okay, Miss Trina,
bro, it's a lot.
Same question for you, Miss Trina.
Oh man, I like you said, a best friend, because we have this way of communicating with each other, the ability to be vulnerable and just share whatever it is. I gained that first. And I knew that in the beginning, from the first time we were talking on the phone to each other, there was just this ease in communication. I got a healthy foundation of partnership. I've said to you before, this is the healthiest relationship I've ever been in. It's peaceful. It's, you know, supportive. It's loving. It's caring. It's introspective. It's challenging also. What else? The humor is there. There's a different kind of humor that goes on here.
It's constantly.
Right. And it's just, you know, the love. It's not something that I ever had to wonder about or question, or there was never any. I was never unsure. You know, I haven't been unsure, not one day.
Wow.
Read that. Good stuff.
Thank you.
That's amazing, guys. I just have like 2 more questions.
Let's go. Let's go.
Just
walk, baby.
But the first question is, at this point, what's the most common misconception that people have about you?
That we drink every day.
Oh.
Because we don't. Because we don't.
Okay.
We can't. We too old now.
Yeah.
The body can't handle it. It's like weekends. And it is 2 drinks.
I would tweak
max.
that and say they probably think that we drink in abundance.
Oh, in abundance.
Not like alcoholics, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
if you see a panned out picture, you see bottles over here, and then you see my wine over there, and glasses, and all these things.
And she's in wine, and I did the whiskey thing. But yeah, it's not as much as people probably. That's a good answer.
That is the number one answer because we drink more water than we drink
all day.
Water and kombucha are consumed more in this house than alcohol.
We drink wine.
Yeah, we do.
We
do, but it's it's not like
it's not like that.
Yeah, it's not like that. We don't even get packages like we used to
of wine.
Yeah, when I used to get like companies sending me stuff, and he would get stuff too, and that's not even happening right now.
Yeah.
We're not in the industry like that anymore.
Not like that. Okay. I would get stuff. People would just want to send me stuff, whiskey and otherwise.
And I would get wine,
brandy, whiskeys,
and sometimes I would get wine and I didn't even like it. I had to, put some content out or Christmas. I got the Advent calendar. I got this Christmas tree Advent calendar from Macy's to drink from December 1st, whenever it started, till the 31st of December. By day 15, I didn't want any more wine. I just left it. I was done. I was like, I cannot do this.
Right.
And you had the whiskey one.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, y'all can't
drink this.
What?
Wow, that's amazing.
My body stopped agreeing with liquor.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, you can't do that like that. So I barely touched my collection at this point.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Sits there.
Right. I'm not a drinker, but I do the same thing. It's not on you guys' level, but I do the same thing with pop. Like I can't even drink pop like.
Oh yeah. We called it pop growing up in Rochester. Yeah. He said pop just now.
Yeah, and I was like,
and I haven't called it pop in a long time. I called it soda for years.
Yeah, I have to say soda just so people will understand. So like,
but I basically don't rock with soda like that. Every blue moon, it'd be like Coke.
He had a Coke the other day and told me that's my Coke.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the way she said, I
said, "Oh, there's a Coke in there."
Yeah. There's a Coke in there. That's my Coke.
It's so weird to see Coke in the fridge.
I never have anything like that. That's my Coke.
Right.
One day I was like, I craved it, and I went and got it from CVS or whatever. And now
he got it when I was gone. And he ain't drink it all. So I come home, I open the fridge, and I'm like,
she be jealous because she got to go in the office. We both work from home.
Yeah.
Right.
And she has to go in the office one day a week.
And
when she's gone, I'll be doing stuff. She be getting jealous.
Ordering all kind of food, doing all kind of things. I'm like, what you have for lunch today? Pizza. I wanted some corn chips, but they ain't have none. So
they had corn chips. I switched it up.
But you got Cheetos.
Yep.
Really? No Cheetos in the house when I come home. None left.
I'm gonna let her get her thing off right now, and I'll pull her to the carpet.
Wait, what have I done? What have I done?
That's all me. It's me.
Okay, what have I done? Wait a minute.
Don't let the fellas be like, yo, let's go to dinner or something.
Oh,
let's go shop it up. I go out and shop it up. I come back and be Popeye's boxes, all kind of nonsense in here.
It's just me. He left me out.
You see how people mind you working, yo?
Right.
That spicy chicken be calling me.
Right. Only when he's not around.
Or when I'm not around. Hilarious, yo. I love it.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Tell me, who were you most surprised to find out knew who you were?
Say it again.
Who were you most surprised to know knew who you were or recognized you?
It happened. It happened.
I'm trying to think about me. I don't remember. I had somebody recognize me out of town one time. I forgot where I was. Like, and it wasn't like close. It was like out Midwest or something. I can't remember. It might have been Chicago. I can't remember though. But it wasn't a matter of like who the person was.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a person,
Right.
out, you know what I'm saying, just randomly recognized who I was. They follow whiskey. This is back in the Whiskey and Kicks days.
Mm-hmm.
When that was really, you know, the number one thing I was doing. And it was just like it's a wild thing. Like I had my boy recently was in Germany, and he has his own platform.
Mm-hmm.
And he was at a party shooting content for Tall Black Guy and Zoe, shooting some content, and some dudes in his club in London knew him from his show. And he told me about it, and I was like, yo, that's crazy. I was like, I had that feeling, not that, because I wasn't in another country, but yeah, just somebody knowing who you are, recognizing you and whatnot, outside of your small village or circle is kind of crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's kind of crazy. So that was pretty dope.
So for me, I was in New York doing a sommelier pouring. I was on Somm team in New York for a gala at Chelsea Piers, and a woman whose books I own, and who I watch all of her content, Wine Folly. Her name is Madeline. She's the founder of Wine Folly, which is a huge wine book platform that everyone like our age group, it's the book where you learn the most about wine. You even take their classes. She walked up to me when I'm standing there terrified because this is my first time pouring formally in such a large establishment. And I'm holding a bottle of Ace of Spades, praying that I don't drop this Magnum bottle that I got to walk to the table and pour. And she walks up to me and she's like, can I just tell you how much I love your wine content? And I was like,
it's dope.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, what? And it was so surreal. She did a video with me. She took photos with me. She sent my mom a message. Like she took a video and sent my mom a message to say how much she loves me. And I was floored. It was such a crazy day. Like I was only in New York for like not even 48 full hours. Like I flew in on Wednesday afternoon. We went to walk through. The gala was Thursday, and then I flew back home the next morning. But that happened in that little bubble, and I felt like, okay, I'm doing something right.
Right.
And she's been awesome. Even to this day, she gave me a one of her courses, a certification free that normally costs like $1,200 for someone to take the class and get the certification. Her team reached out. They said, hey, Madeline wants to gift you this class. Can you, here, sign in. We'll send you the link, all the stuff, and just take the class on us.
It's dope.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is amazing. I was walking to my car, and this white guy runs up to me, a guy that you would never even think had a computer, much less watch the podcast. He goes, you're Mike from Let's Take a Walk. And I'm like, what?
That's crazy. That's
right.
crazy.
Like, what? He was like, yeah, you're Mike from Let's Take a Walk. I said, yeah. He said, I saw you wearing a t-shirt one day and I looked you up. He said, I love your content, man. I watch it all the time now.
It's dope. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it makes you, like you said, it makes you feel like you're going in the right direction. So that's
it's good to be acknowledged. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is. It's not easy. Sometimes you don't hear or receive any feedback even from your peers to even know that they saw it or they're listening or they're whatever. And then sometimes so my day job is in the government, and someone told me that they watch us and they love us in my workspace. And I was like, oh gosh, is she telling everybody? Oh my goodness, but it was so great. She really watches because she was talking about different stuff we were talking about on the show. And I was like, oh my gosh. What?
Man, that's awesome. That is awesome. I have one final question.
Let's go.
Uh-huh.
It's a question that I ask all my guests. So I just want you to take a moment, think about it, and give me the most honest and transparent answer that you can give.
Okay.
And the question is this. What would have to happen in your life, if it hasn't happened already, for you to consider your life a success? What does success look like for you specifically? And you can answer this as a couple or individual.
Ooh.
You got something?
Wow.
It's a good question.
That's a great question.
Thank you.
I have something. I have one thing that I actually said on the show last week. I don't even know if you peeped it, but yeah, I'll wait. Good, you go first.
Oh, sure. For me, I guess, I guess the biggest thing would be to know that I stayed true to who I am. I didn't compromise my beliefs. I kept my faith, and I just stayed genuine, man. That's that's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I die on that hill, fine. Wherever I am in life at that point, fine. As long as I stay true to who I am. And that's been a big belief of mine for as long as I can remember. Before I even put those words to it, I felt that way. So that's a big deal for me. Yep.
Okay. How about you, Miss Trina?
So for me, I used to think that I always wanted to just be like published or something. I wanted to be in something. I wanted to see myself somewhere published, like me, my face, whatever I'm doing, and being, acknowledged, published, or whatever, publicly like that. And then it changed as I've had conversations with my daughters. And what success looks like for me is their approval. I never thought of, but their feedback means so much to me. They're 23 and 20, but their feedback and me having something that they believe in that I'm doing, and their feedback and them just being proud of mom.
Dope.
That's success for me.
That's amazing.
Love it.
That is amazing. That's amazing. I saw an interview recently with Ray J, and he was on Breakfast Club, and they were talking. I guess he's getting ready to get divorced. I guess so. They asked him, how did he feel about it? Because his wife was the one that was filing or whatever, and he was like he didn't understand, but he just knew that he was prepared to be unhappy for the rest of his life as long as he got to see his kids every day. So he was willing to endure the unhappiness, and he said he can't understand why she is not willing to endure the unhappiness, but because he is. And I always thought to myself, that is the craziest thing. But you know what? I felt that way at certain points.
So he meant unhappy as far as like not being in a relationship with her.
Right. He would endure being unhappy with her if it meant waking up to his children every day.
You mean like be in a relationship and
and not
he's willing to be unhappy for the rest of his life as long as
That's wild. Nah, that's crazy. But
I saw pieces of that interview.
There's no way I would do that. I've been in a situation, we've both been married previously, and I've been in a relationship where I made the decision that it's better for my son to see me alone than to see me and his mom together because of how unhappy we were.
Right.
I wanted to teach him healthy relationships.
Yes.
Facts.
So a lot of people don't realize that. Like, you stay together for the sake of the kids. You got to be really good at hiding things.
Because kids see everything.
Because they see a lot.
And they will tell you about it 15, 20 years from now. They remember da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, man. So, and that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? I think I did a pretty decent job. He's a pretty amazing human being. And I think that's part of the reason why, because, yeah.
Yeah, I just bring it up, kind of to your point that, our children have a great, great, great impact on us. Like, they have a great, great influence. If my daughter tells me I'm corny, I'm telling you, it rips me up. It rips me up. Like,
yeah. Yes.
I don't ever want to hear that.
She's just unaware, man. She's just unaware.
She told me the other day, she said, Dad, you would be cool if you drive a better car. She said, I'm almost cool, but I need to drive a better car.
Hilarious.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
She's 12. She was like, yeah. She's like, you're almost there. But if you get a better car, then you'll be cool.
Brutally honest, huh?
Goodness.
Right.
I love it.
What are you gonna do?
These kids.
But thank you guys for coming on, man. I really, really appreciate it. I don't know. Me and Brocky were talking earlier, and I made a request to him. I don't know if he did it or not.
Oh, the sneakers.
Yeah. I gotta see.
Me first. Yeah. So.
Wow. What are those?
These are Vomeros.
Nike Vomero
5s.
Wow.
And they are so comfortable. It's like walking on air. Oh my goodness. They feel so good.
The most comfortable sneaker.
Really?
Any colorway, the Vomero 5, the most comfortable sneaker I've ever worn.
Yes.
Really? Even more comfortable than the Huarache? Like, Huaraches are very comfortable.
That's what Joe said on the show. Yes.
I had a pair of Huaraches.
Huaraches were beautiful back in the day.
Yeah.
They were really comfortable. But Huaraches had that like a almost a compression sock inside.
Mm-hmm.
The inner side.
Yeah.
This doesn't have that. Dude,
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, Mike, find yourself a pair of the Vomeros. They're not gonna run you a bunch of bread or whatever. I got 2 pairs. I got this exact one that we matched on purpose.
We matchy.
Yeah.
I got another colorway of those joints.
Look at her.
Crazy.
We're a little bit we're one step closer to matching outfits.
Oh my God. No, Rocky, don't do it. Don't do it.
We're gonna be on vacation with the matching tracksuits. Watch.
Here's my joints.
Okay, fire.
These are the New Balance Baklava from Action Bronson, the rapper.
Yes.
His joints.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fire.
Beautiful sneaker. For me, sneaker of the year 2023.
Wow. Okay. These are, I alluded to these earlier, but these are.
Oh, the Pumas.
I'm familiar with those.
Ooh.
I love these.
Yep.
These are the most comfortable shoe that I've ever worn.
Really?
Nice. Yeah, those. I believe those have boosts in them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I believe Nike. I believe Puma. Some Pumas have boosts, and I think those are some of them.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, man.
These are the most comfortable shoe next to the Huaraches that I've ever worn. Yeah.
Hey, Mike, I challenge you.
Okay.
Find some Vomeros, bro. My God.
I would take another pair of sneakers off to wear these. I would change the outfit.
Where did you actually buy those from, like a Foot Locker, or did you have to find them?
Nike.com.
Okay.
Yeah. I bought those. Yeah, both of those off Nike.com. Yeah. The ones I bought them aftermarket. I think I got them off of StockX or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look them up. Comfort,
bro.
Amazing.
Yes, Lord. Like you said, at this point, it's about comfort. I did the whole thing and Timberland thing, and I do that every now and then. But I'm starting to get in the Puma. I was telling my wife the other day, I was like, man, I'm starting to look at Skechers, man. I'm starting to like there's like the way they design their shoe. Like I might break down.
Why not? Why not? Listen, if you find some joints that you like, grab them.
I told him I want some Hokas.
Yeah, I see a lot of people wearing them.
That look like air cushion, just all that cushion.
They're good for walking.
Yeah, I see. You know what? I've not seen a person of color wear them yet. And the ones that people that I do see them, they are never new. They're always like beat up. So I never get to see them.
Well, you know, they do their sneakers a little bit different than how
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But yeah, the Hokas, they might be on the horizon. My boy just bought some Shaka. Shaka just got some because we're going to Egypt next year for my birthday, for my 50th.
Okay.
And he bought some sneakers, he bought some Hokas recently, but that trip just to test them out, you know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna do a lot of walking. So gotta be smart about it these days, man.
Facts. Well, there's one thing I will not do, and my niece is trying to get me to do. She wants me to wear Crocs, and I'm not doing it.
Oh no, I'm buying them for my girls. I'm not doing it.
Listen, I'll give me some of those Salehis.
Oh, but those were cute.
Those Salehis is tough.
I can't.
I heard they comfortable too, yo.
Yeah, I can't do it. Or let me refine that. I can't do it outside the house. I can do it inside, but I can't do it outside.
I heard the Yeezy joints are real comfortable too.
Yeah, those are fire.
You know, those are dead now though. So.
Yeah,
man.
But again, man, I appreciate you guys coming on, man, being so transparent, man. The time just moved by so fast, man. I feel like we just scratched the surface, man. But I appreciate you guys coming on.
Hey man, well, you know what I'm saying? When you're ready for us to come back on, holler at me. You already know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If somebody wanted to get in touch with you guys, how can they get in touch with you?
At Where's Brunch Podcast on all platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Just hit us up.
YouTube.
And YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff.
And if you want to listen, we're also on all the streaming, the Apple podcast and
Spotify, YouTube podcast.
Yep.
Humble brag. I get it.
Listen, get it out there.
Yes, sir. Well, again, man, I thank you guys for coming on. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I really admire what you guys are doing. Not just talking. You really influenced me in a lot of different ways, man. And just keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate it, Mike. Thanks for having us on, man. And I'm saying proud of you, yo. You know what I'm saying? The growth, and you know what I'm saying, with the platform and everything. It's good, man. Just keep pushing, yo.
Absolutely. You guys have an awesome night, man, and an even better weekend, man. God bless y'all.
Do the same, man. Appreciate you.
You do the same.
Hey, good night.
Peace.
Night.
There you have it, guys. Another awesome interview with a couple of great guests. Shout out to Brocky and Miss Trina. Please check them out on their podcast, Where's Brunch, on YouTube and all outlets that stream content. Check out Miss Trina and her wine movement. Check out Whiskey and Kicks. Check out everything that they're doing because it's just so much to name. But as I encourage you all guys all the time, if there's something that you feel God has given you, a vision, a plan, a script, a play, a song, a degree, a job, please step out, man. Do it. We need you, man. The game needs you, man. We need you. We need your contribution. So this is a great time. No better time than now to just start walking in it, man. If you're an architect, walk in it. If you're an author, walk in it. If you're a plumber, walk in it. If you're a pilot, walk in it. Keep, just step out because we need you. So with that being said, y'all, I'm not going to belabor the time any more than I already have. Again, shout out to the Where's Brunch crew, the whole team, the whole movement, the whole platform. They're super dope, super interesting, super thought-provoking. Shout out to them. And again, step out. So with that being said, good night. Let's take a walk.